बिहारी। जय राधा माधवा, जय कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा, जय गिरिवरधारी। जय गिरिवरधारी। जय यशोदानंदन, जय प्रजजन रंजना। जय यशोदानंदन, जय प्रजजन रंजना। जय यशोदानंदन, जय प्रजजन रंजना। जय यशोदनंदन, जय व्रजजन रंजना। जय यमुना तिरवन चारी, जय कुंज बिहारी। 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, राधा माधव की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव की जय, नरसिंह भगवान की जय, पंचतत्व की जय, षड गोस्वामी की जय, गुरु परंपरा की जय, श्री गोपाल की जय, श्री गुरुदेव जी हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं, देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Before reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of God Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nishta Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtaki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So, Hare Krishna, Prabhu Mataji's. I welcome all of you for this Srimad Bhagavatam session, and thank you for joining and keeping your appointment. See, today we'll be discussing from 4th canto's 19th chapter, actually from verse number 3 to 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this chapter is entitled King Prithu's 100 horse sacrifices. So let us first recite the verses. Yatra yajñapati sakshad Bhagavan Haririshwarah Annabhyuyata sarvatma Sarvaloka Guru Prabhu. Yatra yajñapati sakshad भगवान् हरिरीश्वरः अन्वभूयत सर्वात्मा सर्वलोकगुरुः प्रभुः. Any one of you can recite? Anybody wants to recite? Okay. Go to the word meaning. Yatra, where? Yajnapatihi, the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Sakshat, directly. Bhagwan, the supreme personality of Godhead. Harihi, Lord Vishnu. Ishvaraha, supreme controller. Anvabhyuyata, became visible. Sarva Atma, the super soul of everyone. Sarvaloka Guruhu, the master of all planets, or the teacher of everyone. Prabhu, the proprietor. Translation and purport of Divine Shilpupa ki Chai. Please hear the translation purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is present in everyone's heart as a super soul. And he is the proprietor of all planets and the enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices. He was personally present at the sacrifices made by King Prithu. Purport. In this verse, the word Sakshat is significant. Prithu Maharaj was a Shakti Avesh avatar, incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Actually, Prithu Maharaj was a living entity, but he acquired specific powers from Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu, however, is directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus belongs to the category of Vishnu Tattva. Maharaj Prithu belongs to the Jiva Tattva. The Vishnu Tattva indicates God, whereas the Jiva Tattva indicates a part and parcel of God. When God's part and parcel is especially empowered, he is called Shakti Avesha Avatara. Lord Vishnu is herein described as Harir Ishvaraha. The Lord is so kind that he takes all miserable conditions away from his devotees. Consequently, he is called Hari. He is described as Ishvara because he can do whatever he likes. He is a supreme controller. The supreme Ishvara Purushottama is Lord Krishna. He exhibits his powers as Ishvara or the supreme controller when he assures his devotee in Bhagavad Gita 18.66, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. He can immediately make his devotee immune from all the reactions caused by sinful life if the devotee simply surrenders unto him. He is described herein as Sarva Atma, meaning that he is present in everyone's heart as a super soul. And as such, he is the supreme teacher of everyone. If we are fortunate enough to take the lessons given by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, our lives immediately become successful. No one can give better instructions to human society than Lord Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada's transcendental purport ki Jai. Go to the fourth verse. Anvito Brahma Sharvabhyam Lokapalai Sahanugaihi Upagiyamano Gandharvair Munibishchatsaroganaih Anvito Brahma Sharvabhyam Lokapalai Sahanugaihi Upagiyamano Gandharvair Munibishchatsaroganaih. Any one of you can recite?
Hare Krishna, may I?
Yes, go ahead.
Anvito Brahma Sarvabhyam Lokapalai Sahanukaihi Upagiyamano Gandharvair Munibishchaps Roganaihi. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Synonyms for word meaning. Anvitaha, being accompanied. Brahma, by Lord Brahma. Sharvabhyam, and by Lord Shiva. Lokapalaihi, by the predominating chiefs of all different planets. Saha Anugaihi, along with their followers. Upagiyamanaha, being praised. Gandharvaihi, by the residents of Gandharvaloka. Munibhi, by great sages. Cha also. Apsar Ganehi, by the residents of Apsarloka. Translation by Divine Shilpupa ki Jai. When Lord Vishnu appeared in the sacrificial arena, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and all the chief predominating personalities of every planet, as well as their followers, came with him. When he appeared on the scene, the residents of Gandharvaloka, the great sages, and the residents of Apsaraloka all praised him. We go to the fifth verse. Siddha Vidyadhara Daitya Danava Guhyakadayah Sunandananda Pramukhaha Pashada Pravaraharehe Siddha Vidyadhara Daitya दानवा गुह्यकादयः सुनन्दनन्दप्रमुखाः पार्षदप्रवरा हरेः. Any one of you can recite?
Prabhuji, I'll recite.
Yes, please, sir.
Siddha Vidyadhara Daitya Dhanava Guhakadayaha Sunandananda Pramukhaha Parshada Pravaraharehi.
Krishna ki Bhakti, Krishna.
Thank you.
Translation by Vidyangi Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord was accompanied by the residents of Siddhaloka and Vidyadhara Loka, all the descendants of Diti and the demons and the yakshas. He was also accompanied by chief associates headed by Sunanda and Nanda. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Go to 6th verse. Kapilo Narado Datto Yogeshasana Kadayah Tanmay Tam Anmiyur Bhagavata Ye Chatat Sukha Kapilo Narado Datto Yogesha Sanakadayah Tamanmiyur Bhagavata Ye Chatat Sukha. Yes, any one of you can recite. Okay, go to the word meaning. Kapilaha, Kapila Muni, Naradaha, the great sage Narada, Dattaha, Dattatreya, Yoga Ishaha, the masters of mystic power, Sanaka Adayaha, headed by Sanaka, Tam, Lord Vishnu, Anviyuhu, followed, Bhagavataha, great devotees, Ye, all those who, Cha also, Tat Sevana Utsukaha, always eager to serve the Lord. Translation and purport by Divine Shri Prabhupada. Sorry, there's no purport. Translation by Divine Prabhupada. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Great devotees who are always engaged in the service of Supreme Personality of Godhead, as well as the great sages named Kapila, Narada, and Dattatreya, and masters of mystic powers, guided by Sanaka Kumara, all attended the great sacrifice with Lord Vishnu. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. 7th verse. Yatra dharma dugha bhumihi sarvakama dugha sati Dogdi smabhipsitan arthan yajamanasya bharata. Synonymous word to word meaning. Yatra, where, dharma dugha, producing sufficient milk for religiosity. Bhumihi, the land. Sarvakama, all desires. Dugha, yielding as milk. Sati, the cow. Dogdi sma, fulfilled. Abhipsitan, desirable. Arthan, objects. Yajamanasya, of the sacrifice. Bharata, my dear Vidura. Translation and purpose with Divine Gesture Prabhupada. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Please hear the translation purport. My dear Vidura, in that great sacrifice, the entire land came to be like the milk producing Kamadhenu. And thus, by the performance of Yajna, all daily necessities for life were supplied. I think you will read the purport when I'm taking class. Okay. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति सपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगणरघुनाथामितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणलिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे योऽन्त प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयति किल शक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यां च हस्तचरणश्रवणतुगादीन् प्राणानमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं न वेदिकिलं यत्कृपातमोदे परमात्मा नमो विष्णु कृष्ण कृष्ण स्मृति महाविष्णु नामने नमो विष्णु कृष्ण कृष्ण भक्ति विलास सर्वेश्वर वाचा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna, Prabhupada Mataji, welcome all of you for this Srimad Bhagavatam session. Shranmata Shraddhaya Nityam Granatascha Swacheshitam Kalena Nati Dirghena Bhagavan Vishate Hridi. Persons who hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and are always taking the matter very seriously will have the personality of God Sri Krishna manifested in their heart within a very short time. So that is the power of just hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And moreover, this is Damodara month, right? Very auspicious to hear and be completely engrossed, just like the gopis in Vrindavan, right? You know, the Gopika Gitam, no? They beautifully sing because of their separation, but still they were so much absorbed. So they willingly, one of the very good verses, there's so many verses of the Gopika Gitam. The first one is Jayati Tedikam Krishna Janmana Vrajaha Shrayata Indira Krishna Shashwadatrahi Daitadrishyataam Krishna Dikshutavakas Tvaidrita Savas Krishna Tvam Vichinvate. See, they are saying, oh beloved, your birth in the land of Vraja has made it exceedingly glorious. And thus, Indira, the goddess of fortune, always resides here. It is only for your sake that we, your devoted servants, maintain our lives. It is just because of you we are maintaining our lives. We have been searching everywhere for you. So please show yourself to us. So 10:31:1, beautiful verse. So the whole Gopika Gitam is so wonderful. So this is how we should be completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness. And especially this month is an offer month, all the more auspicious. So we are all very fortunate to get up, so get up early in the morning, do the Mangalati, and then have chant our rounds, then have the Krishna Katha in front of us, right? See, the way in which Lord Vishnu kills the demons and protects the faithful is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 4.8. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrita dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So in order to really deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I must myself appear millennium after millennium. See, in two hands, Lord Vishnu always carries a club and a chakra. Right? In two hands, Lord Vishnu carries a club and chakra to kill the demons. And in his other hands, the other two hands, he holds a conch shell and a lotus to give protection to his devotees. So when his incarnation is present on this planet or in this universe, the Lord kills the demons and protects his devotees simultaneously. See, the first thing we should remember is that the Supreme Absolute Truth, Krishna, is one without a second. But for his own enjoyment, what Krishna does, he expands. Actually, he's only one, right? But for his own enjoyment, he expands. And Krishna expands in two ways. The first expansions are Vishnu Tattvas. And Vishnu Tattvas, they're non-different from the Supreme Absolute Truth, Krishna. They are quantitatively and qualitatively same as Krishna. But even then, the original Supreme Absolute always remains original in the name of Krishna. Now, Srila Prabhupada, he gives a very nice example in Brahma Samhita that there may be one candle lighted originally. All other candles are of the same quality and same quantity. But even then, original candle, which is lighted first, remains the original candle. So this is how we should be very clear regarding the different expansions of Krishna in the form of Vishnu Tattvas. See, the most important thing is to remember that these expansions are equally powerful as Krishna himself. That is Vishnu Tattvas. And then the second type of these incarnations or expansions are separated expansions. And separated expansions are known as Jiva Tattva expansions. For example, Brahma, Indra, Varuna, or demigods, nearly 33 crore, right? They're all separated expansions. The separated expansions are not as powerful as Krishna. They are actually created for a certain job. And as soon as that job is finished, they are also finished. But Vishnu Tattvas, they never are created and they are never born. There is no death for the Vishnu Tattvas. See, for example, Balrama is known as Ram also, right? So all of these expansions, they have the same quality and the same quantity. But even then, Krishna remains the supreme absolute truth. So it's very correctly Brahma Samhita, in the purpose of the Brahma, is repeating this truth, right? Where it's very known, well known shloka, right? Ishwaraha Paramaha Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. See, in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 20.245, it says there are 6 types of incarnations, avatars of Krishna. So one comprises the incarnation of Vishnu, that is Purusha avatars. And another comprises the incarnation meant for the performance of pastimes, that is known as Leela avatars. And then in the 20.246 Chaitanya Madhya Lila, it says there are incarnations that control the material qualities, that is Guna avatars. Incarnations associated with the reign of each Manu, Manvant avatar. Incarnations in different millenniums, Yuga avatars. And incarnations of empowered living entities, Shakti Avesha avatars. So these incarnations are concerned so far as the maintenance of the material world is required. In the spiritual world, there is no incarnation. That is a permanent situation. See, when we speak of incarnation, that is in relationship with the material, this material world is in relation to the material world. So for the material world, these incarnations are expanded. Right? So what are they? Purushavatara, Leelavatara, Gunavatara, Manvantavatara, Yugavatara, Shakti Avashavatara. Okay. See, in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.117, Prabhupada says, the living entities are energies. The living entities are energies, and they are not the energetic. The energetic is Krishna. So this is very nicely described, right? See, now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jiva Tattva, living entities, they are never the energetic. See, it is given in this verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 7.117, Jiva Tattva Shakti Krishna, Jiva Tattva Shakti, Krishna Tattva Shakti Man. So, Jiva Tattva, living entities, they are never the energetic, they are energy. Now, energetic and energy, okay. So, how is it so? So, we can see, he says that Jiva, the living entities, they are the categories of energy. They are not the energetic. Now, Prabhupada, in one of the lectures, he says, energetic and energy, you should try to understand this. Like, see, just like the fire and heat, and its heat. Heat is the energy, and fire is the energetic. Similarly, Supreme Lord, he is the energetic, Supreme Person. And we, the living entities, we are energy. But as you cannot separate energy and energetic separately, right? So wherever there is energy, wherever there is fire, there is heat also. So you cannot separate the fire. As soon as we are separated, that is our conditional state. So how we are separated? See, just like the sparks of the fire, right? As soon as it comes out of the fire and falls down on the ground, it loses its illumination immediately. Immediately. So the illuminating spark which was dancing in the fire, as soon as it falls down, it becomes black charcoal. It is just like carbon. So long with the fire, it is just like as good as fire, illuminating. So our position is like that. We are sparks, energy. As from the energy of the fire, there are so many sparks dancing, right? Similarly, we are all sparks of the Supreme Lord. But as soon as we come out of the fire, as soon as we want to become independent of the Supreme Absolute Truth, that spiritual energy becomes almost extinguished. Actually, it is never to be extinguished, but it appears. So just like fire covered with ashes. Okay. So again, when the ashes are removed, fire comes. So our position is like that. We are now covered by the ash of the material energy. And as soon as this will be removed, then see the removal process is what? Chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So as soon as we are completely cleansed, we are as good as the illuminating as Krishna. So this is the process we have to understand. See, in the Vedanta Sutra, Vyasadeva has described that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is potent, very potent, and that everything material or spiritual is just is an emanation of his energy. So he is the origin of or source of everything. Janmaryasi yatah, first verse of Bhagavatam, 111. And all other manifestations are emanations of different energies of Krishna. And this is also confirmed in the Vishnu Purana. See, whatever we see in this world is simply an expansion of different energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is exactly like a fire that spreads illumination for a long distance, although it is situated in one place, right? So this is a very vivid example of it. So similarly, it is stated that just as everything in the material world exists in the sunshine, okay, which is the energy of the sun. Sunshine is the energy of the sun. So everything exists on the basis of the spiritual and mental energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So although Krishna is situated in his own abode, Goloka eva nivasati akhilatma bhuta, where he enjoys his transcendental pastimes with the cowherd boys and gopis, he is nevertheless present everywhere, even within the atoms of this universe. Andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham. So this is the verdict of the Vedic literature. Unfortunately, the Mayavadi philosophy misguiding people by claiming the living entity to be the Lord. This thing has created havoc, throughout the entire world, and is leading almost everyone to godlessness. So by thus covering the glories of the Supreme Lord, the Mayavadi philosophers have done the greatest disservice to human society. So it is to counteract these most abominable activities of Mayavadi philosophers that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has introduced the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Nama, Hare Namaiva Kevalam, Kalau Nastya eva Gatir Anyatha. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is chanting the holy names of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way, 3 times. So people should simply engage in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So thus they will gradually come to understand that they are not the Supreme Absolute Personality of Godhead. Because as they have been taught by the Maya philosophers, no, they are not the God. But we are all actually eternal servants of Krishna. So as soon as one engages himself in the transcendental service of the Lord, he becomes free. Mam cha yo abhyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samati teitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. 14.26 Bhagavad Gita says. So therefore the Hare Krishna movement, Krishna conscious movement, is the only light for the foolish living entities who think either that there is no God or that if God exists, he is formless and they themselves are also God. So these misconceptions are very dangerous. And the only way to counteract them is to spread this Hare Krishna movement. So this Damodaram is all the more perfect platform to reach out to more and more living entities who are actually wanting. See, actually in the Vedas, the Supreme Lord is accepted. Right? Vishnu, Narayan, Krishna, different names of Vishnu Tattva. God is one. But there are different kinds of demigods. And this is also a fact. They are accepted as different parts and parcels of God, as we are also, right? So the demigods are also living entities. They are not Vishnu Tattvas. See, there are Vishnu Tattva, Jiva Tattva, and Shakti Tattva. Now, Vishnu Tattva is supreme absolute truth. Jiva Tattva is part and parcel. And Shakti Tattva is the energy of God. So you can become a demigod. You can become, if you follow the process how to become. Then you become one day the demigod in the sun planet. It's not difficult, Prabhupada says. You can become one day even Lord Brahma. Just like one day you can become a president of the country. That requires your qualification, but you can. But you cannot become Krishna or Narayana. That is not possible. God is one. You cannot become God, but you can become part and parcel of God. More powerful, right? That is possible. Like becoming a secretary to Prime Minister or something like that. You can become that, right? Because that is better than an ordinary man. Similarly, demigods are like that. They are different offices of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So these things are described in Bhagavatam. See, the sun rises under the order of the Supreme Lord. The moon rises under the order of the Supreme Lord. So everyone is acting under the Supreme Lord. And Chaitanya Chaitamrita says, Ekale Ishvara Krishna. Supreme Lord is only Krishna. Ekale Ishvara Krishna, Ara Sabha Bhritya. So Lord Krishna alone is the supreme controller, and all others are his servants. They dance as he makes them to do so. So everyone is emanation from Krishna, but nobody is equal with God. Okay. But the Vishnu Tattva, right? They are the same. There is no difference between Krishna and Ramachandra, Narayana, Vishnu, because they are Vishnu Tattvas. They are equally powerful. But Jiva Tattva, we living entities, although we are part and parcel of Krishna, we are not equally powerful. This is called the philosophy of Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. Simultaneously one and different. Qualitatively one, but quantitatively different. Just like a gold, right? So huge gold mine is there. But even a chain or a ring, gold, that is also gold. But it's not the mountain. It is just a part of it, smaller one. So qualitatively, both are gold, but it's not the same. See, Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. As is said in the Bhagavad Gita and Vedic literature, no? Krishna says himself, Mata parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. In 7.7, Bhagavad Gita says, there is no more superior authority than me. So there is no difference between like Lord Ram, Krishna, Narsimha, Varaha. They're all supreme personality of Godhead. That is the explanation that a candle, right? Original candle. And then subsequent candles. So although the original candle, you can say number one candle, but all the candles are equally powerful. There is no question. Because the second candle is lighted from the first candle. It does not mean that the second candle is less powerful than the original candle. But the original one is original. See, in Krishna lives in the Goloka, right? So it says in Brahma Samhita, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabhis Tabirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabhihi Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Although he is always situated in Goloka Vrindavan for satisfaction of the inhabitants of Vrindavana, right? Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Krishna, the original personality of God, right? He's very busy to satisfy the Gopijana, Gopis and the coward boys. He does not go out of Vrindavana, but still, because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he can expand himself in such a way. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So Krishna expands himself. Eko Bahu Shyama. According to Vedic description, first is Vishnu Tattva. Vishnu Tattva, then Jiva Tattva. See, the Vishnu Tattva is called Swa-amsha. Swa-amsha. There is no difference between one Vishnu Tattva to another. Just like Ramachandra, he is Vishnu Tattva. Narayana, Vishnu Tattva. Balram, Vishnu Tattva. No difference in power. They are called Swa-amsha Vistara. Swamsha Vistara. Then there are other Vistaras, expansions. That is called Vibhinnamsha Vistara. Separated part and parcel. So we are the Jivas. We are also expansion of Krishna. But we are a small separated parcel, part and parcel where, right? Whereas Vishnu Tattva expansion is different. They are in full power. See, Jiva Tattva, as the Maya, they think that Jiva Tattva can be God or Jiva can become God. That is a false theory. It has no value according to Vedic scriptures. It is in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, 7.5, Apareyam itastvanyam tuviddu me prakritim param jiva bhuta mahabahu edam dharete jagat. So this Jiva Tattva is accepted as Prakriti, right? Not Purusha. There are two kinds of Prakriti or energies. One is called inferior energy. Bhumi Rapo Analo Vayu, 7.4, right? Metal elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. They are inferior energies of the Lord. And Jiva Bhuta, they are the superior energy. Because superior energy tries to lord it over the metal energy, right? Just like we are Jivas. Every one of us trying to utilize the metal resources of the metal world, of the metal nature, right? We are simply trying to do that. Actually, we are not Bhokta. Bhokta is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam. 5.29 verse in Bhagavad Gita says. So the Supreme Ishvara, Purushottama, is Lord Krishna. He exhibits his powers as Ishvara, or the Supreme Controller. How? When he assures his devotee in Bhagavad Gita 18.6 is, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Sarvodharmam Parityaja. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. I shall deliver you from all sinful actions. Do not fear. Ma shuchara. He can immediately make his devotees immune from all the reactions caused by sinful life if the devotee simply surrenders unto him. It's a very important point to understand with regard to surrender, right? We want to be happy in this middle world. But this will never be possible until we direct our actions unto the Supreme Lord Krishna. Especially his beginning is Shanmatam Katha Krishna, Punya Shaman Ketana, Hridayantotsa Bhadrani, Vidunoti Satam, right? So in our attempts to satisfy ourselves, we simply increase the blazing fire of desires, which cannot be satisfied by these illusionary thoughts and plans. Rather, we have to follow the instructions of Lord Krishna, Sarva Dharmam Parityaja, Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Then we shall be happy. See, most of the time, we think that we can be happy if our current circumstances like job, etc., change. For example, a child going to school might think college life is more thrilling. So once he goes to college, he will realize that life is not just fun alone and that he has to struggle enough to graduate successfully, right? So at that moment, you would think if he gets the job, he will be happier. No need to study. But once he gets the job, his responsibility to take care of family, etc., would be more. Then he might think that he would be happier if he gets married and begets children. After attaining them, he will feel that he will become free if he completes all his family responsibilities. Soon, right? Grass always looks greener on the other side. But reality is, every phase of life has its own set of problems. We say we are settling, after this we will settle down. Where are we settling down? We just can't escape from the miserable situation no matter how much we try for it. That's what Prahlad Maharaj says in Bhagavatam 7:9-25. In this middle world, every living entity desires some future happiness, which is exactly like a mirage in the desert. Where is water in the desert? Or in other words, where is happiness in this middle world? As for this body, what is its value? It is merely a source of various diseases. The so-called philosophers, scientists, and politicians, they know this very well. But they aspire for temporary happiness. Happiness is very difficult to obtain. But because they are unable to control their senses, they run after the so-called happiness of middle world and never come to the right conclusion. What a beautiful verse, right? 7:9-25 about Prahlad Maharaj. See, there is a very funny story in this regard. Once there was a lion living in a zoo in India. After spending a long time in the same place, he got fed up with the monotonous life and also the food, and he desired for a change. One day, news came that he was going to get transferred to Dubai Zoo, to Dubai. In that zoo, he is going to go. Lion, right? He got happy, excited, and started criticizing the Indian zoo. He declared that the Indian zoo was not suitable for a place for him. He did not like the food given there and started thinking that when he will reach Dubai, he will be provided an air-conditioned cage to live and a rich variety of food to eat. Finally, the day came when he landed in Dubai, and after some time, the lion received a food pack containing 2 bananas. He ate it and believed that the Dubai authority was taking utmost care of his health. So they gave the bananas to avoid heavy food immediately because he just landed. However, next day too, he received a pack containing 2 bananas. Now the lion wondered if the zoo authorities forgot to regularize his diet. They forgot whether he's a lion. Again on the third day, he received a pack of containing 2 bananas. This time he lost his temper and shouted at the food delivery boy, I am the king of animals, and you're giving me bananas to eat? The boy replied, you may be the king of animals in India, but here in Dubai, you come on the monkey visa. What to speak of lion in this story, right? Sometimes even we also think, right, that we would be happier if we travel to foreign countries for work. But reality, like so many factors like climate, food habits, sleeping habits in the foreign country, it might affect us more and more, right? So our income in terms of money and miseries would be equally higher. So due to the miserable nature of the middle world, we would never feel at home, either in our motherland or in any other corner of this world, by simply craving for material happiness. So as soon as we remember our real home, the spiritual abode of Goloka Vrindavana, and engage our thoughts, deed, and words in our attempts to returning back home, back to Godhead, then we would remain blissful, irrespective of place, ashram, wherever we are now. See, in Bhagavatam 4:24-58, Lord Shiva, in his wonderful prayers, gives us, all of us, the clue as to what is the real benediction we can seek from the Supreme Lord. He says, my dear Lord, your lotus feet are the cause of all auspicious things and the destroyer of all the contamination of sin. I therefore beg your Lordship to bless me by the association of your devotees, who are completely purified by worshipping your lotus feet and who are so merciful upon the conditioned souls. I think that your real benediction will be to allow me to associate with such devotees. See, Prabhupada in his book Teachings of Queen Kunti, he writes beautifully. He says, Krishna is so merciful that if we want to use our senses in a certain way, he will give us the chance to do so. See, the senses are not ours, they are Krishna's. But Krishna gives us the opportunity to use them according to our desires. Some independence is given. Now, see what is example Prabhupada gives in this book. For example, each of us has a tongue. And suppose we want to eat stool. We may say, Krishna, I want to eat taste stool. And Krishna will say, yes, take the body of a hog and eat stool. He will give us an appropriate body and reminds us, my dear living entity, you wanted to eat stool. Now you have the proper body in which to do so. Similarly, if one wants to become a demigod, Krishna will give one chance to do that also. There are 84 forms, lakh forms of life. And if one wants to engage one's senses in a particular type of body, Krishna will give one the chance. Come on, here is the body you want, take it. But eventually, one will become exasperated, by using one's senses. Unfortunately, one will become senseless. Therefore, Krishna says, Sarva dharma parityaja mamekam shranam." Don't act like this. Your senses are meant for serving me. You're misusing your senses and are therefore being entrapped in different types of bodies. Therefore, to get relief from this tedious business of accepting one body and then giving it up to accept another and again another in continued mental existence, just give up this process of sense gratification and surrender unto me. So the easiest way to achieve this is through the association of pure devotees. Because one's heart is purified only in the association of devotees, 100% guaranteed. In this context, there is a story. Once, Naradji met young Hanumanji, who was living with his mother Anjana. Upon hearing that, Hanumanji is always engaged in devotional service, and by singing glories of the Lord, even rocks get melted. So Naradji requested Hanumanji to sing some Ram Bhajan. Immediately, Hanumanji agreed and started singing. Naradji kept his veena on one of the small rocks. And to his surprise, Naradji saw that the rock was melting into liquid and his veena was going into the rock. Immediately, Naradji asked Hanumanji to stop. Then Hanumanji stopped singing. Then Naradji tried to lift his veena, but he could not. Because the melted rock became solid. And as soon as Hanumanji stopped singing, the veena got stuck to the rock. Now again, Naradji requested Hanumanji, please sing, so that rock will melt again and he can take the veena. But Hanumanji said, what is this? One point of time you are asking me to sing, then stop, and then again sing. What is this? I will not sing now. It was a child, right? Saying this, the child Hanuman started running into the house. Narji also followed, running him after him. Hanumanji ran from one room to another, then upstairs, everywhere in the house, each and every room. Anjana Devi, his mother, saw this and she said, Hanuman, you should not trouble Narji like this. He is one of the most exalted devotees of the Lord. Hanumanji replied, I know, mother, that Sri Narada is a pure devotee of the Lord. And that is why I want the dust of his lotus feet to purify our house. And that will purify our existence. So he was running around taking Narji to each and every rooms. Later, Hanumanji requested Narji, he can order Hanuman to sing and stop any number of times. When his work is done. So the point is, let us all sincerely pray the lotus feet of Krishna, Prabhupada, and Guru, right, to bestow their mercy upon us to get more and more opportunity to get the association of pure Vaishnavas who are as so powerful that each of them can deliver an entire universe. See, when Lord Vishnu, pleased by the forgiving nature and good behavior of Maharaj Prithu, asked him to request for any benediction he liked. And Prithu Maharaj replied, see his reply in 4:20:31 in Bhagavatam. Tvanmaya yadha janaish khandito yadanyadashast pritatmano budho yatachare balahitam pita swayam तथा त्वमेवार्हसि न समीहुतुम्. So you listen to the translation, very beautiful. My Lord, due to your illusory energy, all living beings in this middle world have forgotten the real constitutional position. And out of ignorance, they're always desirous of material happiness in the form of society, friendship, and love. Therefore, please do not ask me to take some material benefits from you. But as a father, not waiting for the son's demands, does everything for the benefit of the son. Please bestow upon me whatever you think best for me. What a wonderful prayer. See, there's a lot of difference between wants and needs. See, deluded by illusion, we consider whatever we want as our needs. Just like a child, when he's taken to a toy shop, he craves to own all that he sees, right? We also crave whimsically. But a responsible father knows what is needed for the child. He knows what is good for the child's health. And according to provides the child only with those things, though the child might not be able to realize or appreciate the value of the same. But when the child simply trusts the father and abides by his words, the child will be saved from all danger. Similarly, like an obedient child, we must also completely trust on our Supreme Father Krishna and request him to bestow whatever he thinks is needed for us and should not seek for whatever we want. So this applies true to all aspects and stages of our life. Now, let us take the example of marriage. We might think that a beautiful, well-educated life partner with good family heritage is what we need. And we pray to Krishna for the same. We might get such a person as well. But after marriage, when we start facing the reality of life, we might realize that the beauty, education, good heritage, that alone are not sufficient for a good marital life. As the individual partner might turn to be proud, arrogant person, not respecting elders, etc., in the family, right? So instead of praying to Krishna to bless us with a life partner with such and such qualities, it is best to surrender unto his lotus feet and pray to bestow whomever he thinks is best for us. In his unparalleled purport to this verse, Prabhupada very wonderfully writes, it is the duty of the son to depend upon his father without asking anything from him. The good son has faith that the father knows best how to benefit him. Similarly, a pure devotee does not ask anything from the Lord for material benefit, nor does he ask anything for spiritual benefit also. The pure devotee is fully surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord, and the Lord takes charge of him. As it is given in Bhagavad Gita, 18.6. So the father knows the necessities of the son and supplies them. And the Supreme Lord knows the necessities of the living entities and supplies them sumptuously. Therefore, the Ishopanishad states that everything in this material world is complete. Purnamidam. The difficulty is that due to the forgetfulness, the living entities create unnecessary demands and entangle themselves in the material activities. The result is that there is no end to material activities. Life after life, it is going on. See, before us, there are varieties of living entities, and everyone is entangled in the transmigration and activities. Our duty is simply to surrender to Supreme Lord Krishna and let Him take charge, for He knows what is good for us. The important points to be hammered in our minds is that number one, we must neither ask for material or spiritual benefits from Krishna. Number two, Krishna is already blessing us sumptuously, more than what we deserve. And three, our only duty is to simply surrender to Him and serve Him. Prabhupada very nicely concludes the purport by saying the conclusion is that the pure devotee should not aspire after any material benefit from devotional service. By doing devotional, you should not expect any material things. Nor should he be enamored by the fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. He should always be engaged favorably in the service of the Lord. That is the highest perfection of life. So the special important point to be mentioned is that we have to continuously surrender and serve the Lord in whatever capacity, wherever we are, whatever you are already doing, continue doing it, but add Krishna to your life. See, my Guru Maharaj had a paralytic attack long, and he was in a hospital. And he was constantly meditating and chanting on this shloka by the mercy of the Supreme Father Krishna. And so he then thereby he recovered and he's using every breath in the service of Krishna. So this is such a wonderful shloka, right? So let us pray at the lotus feet of the Guru, Srila Prabhupada Krishna, that we always remain thankful for their wonderful guidance, to follow in their footsteps, and by not craving for wants, right? But to completely surrender to Krishna, serve them in a manner pleasing to them. We should simply surrender to Krishna. See, generally, when we meet someone, we may go with some agenda, right? But that does not apply when we go and meet our Lord Krishna. See, instead of we serving Krishna, we always approach the Lord with our own agendas and want Him to serve us. Such attitude will only distance us from Krishna. The first and foremost quality required to meet or approach Krishna is surrender. And in this regard, there is a nice story that highlights the importance of surrender. See, once there is a man who asked Krishna for a flower and a butterfly. But Krishna gave him a cactus and a caterpillar. The man was sad. He didn't understand why his request was mistaken. Then he thought, oh, Krishna has too many people to care for. So he decided not to question Krishna. After some time, the man went to check up on what his request that he almost forgot about it. And to his surprise, from the thorny and ugly cactus, a beautiful flower had grown. And the caterpillar had been transformed into the most beautiful butterfly. Krishna always does things right. Krishna's way is always the best way. Even if to us it seems all wrong. If we ask for one thing and receive another, we should patiently accept it and have trust in Krishna. See, we must be sure that He will always give us what we need at the appropriate time. What we want is not always what we need. So let us just surrender unto Krishna without doubting or murmuring. In Haribhakti Vilasa 11.676, 6 aspects of surrender are very nicely explained. Anukulyasya sankalpah, pratikulyasya varjanam, rakshishyati iti vishwaso, gopritatve varanam tatha, atma nikshepa karpanye, shadvida sharanagatihi. The 6 aspects of surrender are 1. Acceptance of whatever is conducive to bhakti. 2. Abhorrence of what is detrimental thereto. Abhorrence is disgusted with what is things which will be not helping in our devotional service, detrimental to that too. 3. Conviction that the Lord is one's only protector. 4. Acceptance of the Lord as one's maintainer. 5. Resignation of the self. And 6. Sincere humility. So to clarify the point of complete surrender, Prabhupada in his wonderful purport to the verse 18.66, the Sarvadana Parichay, in that verse, he has quoted this verse also. He says one should be confident that in all circumstances, Krishna will protect him from all difficulties. There is no need of thinking how one should keep the body and soul together. Krishna will see to that. So one should always think himself helpless and should consider Krishna the only basis for his progress in life. See, as soon as one seriously engages himself in devotional service for the Lord, in full Krishna consciousness, at once he becomes freed from all the contaminations of material nature. So he is described herein as Sarvatma, meaning that he is present in everyone's heart as the super soul. And as such, he is the supreme teacher of everyone. If we are fortunate enough to take the lessons given by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, our lives immediately become successful. No one can give better instructions to human society than Lord Krishna. So this is very, see, in the seventh purport I was talking about, right? The last verse which we discussed. I said I would read this because that itself is very self-explanatory. Please hear very carefully. This current chapter which we are discussing, the last verse which we cited. See, in this verse, the word dharma dugha is significant, for it indicates kamadhenu. Now, kamadhenu is also known as surabhi. Surabhi cows inhabit the spiritual world. And as stated in Brahma Samhita, right? Lord Krishna is engaged in tending these cows. Surabhi Rabi Phala Yantam. One can milk a Surabhi cow as often as one likes. And the cow will deliver as much milk as one requires. That's why it is Surabhi. Milk, of course, is necessary for the production of so many milk products, especially clarified butter, and which is required for the performance of great sacrifices. See, unless we are prepared to perform the prescribed sacrifices, our supply of the necessities of life will be checked. That's what we saw, right, in the previous chapters. Bhagavad Gita confirms that Lord Brahma created human society along with Yajna, the performance of sacrifice. Yajna means Lord Vishnu, Supreme Personality of Godhead. And sacrifice means working for the satisfaction of Supreme Lord, right? In this age, however, it is very difficult to find qualified Brahmanas who can perform sacrifices as it is prescribed in the Vedas. Therefore, it is recommended in Srimad Bhagavatam, Yajnai Sankirtan Prayahi, that by performing Sankirtan Yajna and by satisfying the Yajna Purusha, Lord Chaitanya, one can derive all the results derived by great sacrifices in the past. So we saw King Prithu and others. They derived all the necessities of life from the earthly planet by performing great sacrifices. So now Prabhupada says this Sankirtan movement has already been started by the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Prabhupada says that people should take advantage of this great sacrifice and join in the society's activities. Then there will be no scarcity. If Sankirtan Yajna is performed, there will be no difficulty, not even in industrial enterprises. Therefore, this system should be introduced in all spheres of life, social, political, industrial, commercial, etc. Then everything will run very peacefully and smoothly. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nita Gopam Vancha Kalpatarubhascha, Kripasandabhayevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavibhyo. Thank you very much, Sri Krishna. If you have any questions or anything to share, can go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Krishna knows what we want, but he will give only what is needed, what you deserve. Okay.
Very nicely explained, Guruji. Thank you so much, Guruji, for the wonderful two stories which you have explained today. That is very, very awesome. Yeah. So we have to remind that every time we have to be under the conscious of Krishna, His mercy, and always chant His names.
Yes.
I am happy to inform you that a few Matajis have come along with the Nirmala Mataji last week to light a lamp, which was very wonderful occasion, 3-4 days back. back, that Damodar Deepam. I was really
Okay.
blessed. This is the first time that somebody is coming to my house and lit some lamp, and really overwhelmed with their, yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah, it's
Very
very
nice.
wonderful. Guruji. Just I wanted to
Nice.
share with you.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Very nice. This is auspicious to more and more people come and do this aarti. It's very good. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. I'm able to chant at least 1 or 2 rounds during this Damodar month, morning or evening, managing
Okay.
somehow to chant, and regularly with other slokas and all, which I am very. Actually, I'm not feeling well, Guruji, because of the throat infection and continuous weather conditions in Bangalore. So somehow managing, Guruji. Thank you so much
No
for
problem.
your wonderful
Don't
class
worry.
today.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Gurudev.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you. Yeah.
We'll pray for a good health. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. There are so many lessons to take away from today's class, but two especially I will highlight. One is that we keep looking for happiness in future and in this material world, and that is, we know this is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Still, we are looking for happiness in this material world and in the future. That after this, I will be happy. So that is something futile. We should be like engage the mind in service of the Lord, and that is where soul is going to get the happiness.
Correct.
And second point,
Wonderful.
last story which you have mentioned, that God is giving us whatever we need actually, but we do not understand. As the person was thinking, he has given me cactus and this caterpillar, what I asked for, but he is giving what we actually need, but we miss it. We do not know what will happen next after some days or some month or years. We see today only. Just that
Correct.
too, just this moment. I don't know what will happen after 2 hours. But still, I
Correct.
will think, no, this is not like this. This should be like this. So, this complete trust, complete surrender, we have to bring inside us. That what is, if I am on the right track, I'm surrendered to Lord. I'm leaving everything to Him and engaging my mind and my actions for serving Him. Then whatever is happening is for my good only. That trust we have
Yes.
to bring, Prabhuji. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
So nice.
Hare
Well put,
Krishna.
Mataji. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. That's what the example I gave, like with regard to first school, then I have like college, then job. Every time, better will be in the next. But grass is green on the other side. That's what it is. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
And the original is original, like the candles, no? The first candle is the original always.
Correct.
So energy and the
Yes.
energetic, the very good example, illustration.
Example. Yeah, correct. Thank you. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, even the lion story is very good.
Yeah, that's what. We think there, like grass is green on the other side. We think there will be better.
Exactly, bro. Hare
We don't know
Krishna.
what will happen there. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you,
Mataji.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So, thank you, Santosh Prabhu, Swastika Mataji. Hare Krishna. Balaji.